Well, President Biden, he's finally addressing the nation about those three flying objects that we saw flying over the U.S. skies. And of course, the United States finally shot down one of them after it went across the entire country off the South Carolina coast. The president saying, quote, "We don't know what these three objects were, but nothing right now suggests they were related to China's spy balloon program." Why does he believe everything? Why does he not call out China ever? He never calls them out. They are our adversary, plain and simple.
A lot of people are wondering, is it because of some of the deals that his son Hunter Biden had? We will eventually, maybe, hopefully, find out.
God willing.
America First Policy Institute senior fellow and former National Security Council Chief of Staff, Fred Fleitz. Fred, good morning. Welcome back to the show.
Here.
Fred, let's just jump in. What do you make of Biden's address?
I tell you, this is the most inaccessible president to the press in history. The American people have been waiting and waiting and waiting for the president to make some statements about these balloons. He admitted that 3 of the balloons he ordered shot down didn't appear to be Chinese or espionage related at all. They may even have been launched by American companies. And then he refused to take questions. If there was ever a time we needed an American president to answer questions from the press about issues that really concern national security, this was it. And again, he failed the test.
Take a listen. I want you to listen to this, Fred, what President Biden had to say on how we will engage with China.
Now, we'll also continue to engage with China, as we have throughout the past 2 weeks. As I've said since the beginning of my administration, we seek competition, not conflict with China. We're not looking for a new Cold War, but I make no apologies, and we will compete. And we'll responsibly manage that competition so that it doesn't veer into conflict.
Well, he may not want conflict with China, but maybe China wants conflict with us. I mean, there's been some experts saying that we could be at war with China in 2025. I know Gordon Chang has been very emphatic about it. He says that these spy balloons is basically them testing the waters. What do you think, Fred?
I think we see national security malpractice across the board. China is not a competitor. It is an adversary. Japan's a competitor. France is a competitor. China is not trying to compete with us for some common goal. They want to displace us by the world's leading power and by violence if necessary. And as Biden keeps talking about, this is a nation who we can compete with using normal rules. That's one reason why we're in such trouble with China. The Chinese know it.
I don't think there's any question about it. You know, Fred, I keep hearing this, and it's frustrating for me because I think it's almost written right on the wall in front of everyone. China is not our friends. They're not just, this is not a sportsman-like situation where they're just a competitor and we're wishing everyone the best. They are our adversaries. There's no doubt about that.
And now they want to help Russia?
Right, exactly. And if you look at that relationship between China, Russia, and Iran, you can throw that in there, it's definitely disheartening. But, you know, I know that our expert, Mr. Chang, wrote about this in the New York Post and made it very clear that they're not our friends. You know, he thinks that this balloon may have been actually a prelude to an attack. What do you think about that?
I think the balloon was an attempt to test American air defenses, to test presidential decision making. But, you know, we're just mismanaging this relationship so badly. We saw this in Blinken's meeting with his counterpart at the Munich Security Summit. He had to beg for this meeting. The Chinese wouldn't agree to it. The meeting was held in secret. There was no press. And afterwards, Blinken gave a press conference talking about how tough he was with the Chinese, how he was candid, basically put them in their place. What we need to do, no matter what we think of China, is to express our concerns and then try to find a way to improve relations. We can live with adversaries. But I tell you, in terms of national security incompetence, this was a sterling example of that by the way this meeting in Munich was handled. I mean, the Chinese came away even more insulted than they were by shooting down the balloon. And this is not going to be good for what's going on in Ukraine and the situation with Taiwan.
World security at this point is at stake here. I want you to take a listen to what European Union President Ursula von der Leyen had to say about Russia and China.
China has taken side very clearly. It has signed the unlimited friendship agreement with Russia. So it has taken a specific position. We should keep that in mind. China is not neutral towards the whole process. As we are not neutral, we are backing, of course, Ukraine.
If you had President Biden's ear, Fred, and you could say to him, this is what I think you should do regarding Russia, regarding China, what do you say next? What would you say to President Biden?
Well, I think Biden needs to fire his whole national security team and bring in some very competent national security experts. And they could be Democrats. Jane Harman is a possibility, former top Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee. People with gravitas who our adversaries and enemies respect, who could put forward a foreign policy of strength. Blinken doesn't reflect strength. Biden doesn't reflect strength. A weak America is dangerous for global security. It emboldens our enemies. That's going on right now. That's going to get worse until this president leaves office. And I don't think he's going to change his national security team, but I think it's vital that he do so.
Well, thank you so much, Fred Fleitz, and God help us all at this point. Thank you, sir.